Let's continue with the appropriate techniques in conflict management. Again, with the focus of useful steps to be taken on conflict management. On the previous section, we ended up with always end conflict between two people as a mediator on a positive note. And so now our focus is going to be on taking the useful steps that are taken really on managing conflict. Our first point is really managing your own conflicts. So here you are in the conflict, whereas in the previous section you were the mediator of the conflict. So we're going to look at various aspects under managing your own conflicts. And the first one we're going to look at is face the conflict head on. So, in other words, don't duck and dive, don't avert, don't run away from, and also don't procrastinate on the issue at hand. In other words, also don't sweep things under the carpet thinking that they'll go away. They never go away, you know. It's only a matter of time before they resurface. And usually when they resurface, it's much bigger issues that we've got to contend with and more difficult to resolve. So tackle issues head on before things spiral out of control and out of hand. It gives you an opportunity to plan, to prepare in anticipation of the outcomes that you seek in the resolution. Don't tell everyone about your conflicts. Rather, maintain privacy of your issues. Unless you, of course, are having to seek professional advice. And we trust that it's in a professional environment so that things don't leak to public and put you in a predicament. Your issue is not for public consumption. Only talk to people you can trust, and trust us. You probably only have a few. When communicating your own conflicts, use the I statement rather than the plurality of what you want to convey. When you say I, it helps articulate your motives and feelings clearly, as opposed to saying we. You tend to take responsibility over your own actions when you mention I. The use of you can seem accusatory of the other person involved in the conflict. So maintain your position and be assertive by communicating in the singular approach by saying I. Be specific in your approach, meaning be clear, concise, and to the point. Use an economy of words necessary to explain your position. Don't be over elaborate. And at the same time, don't just give too brief an answer or comment in your own conflict environment. See it from the other person's point of view or perspective. In other words, show empathy. Seek to understand before you seek to be understood. Be emotionally aware and listen to the other party. Listen to what's been said at the same time. Also, try and listen and perceive what's not being communicated. Avoid name calling or cursing. In other words, show respect for the other person. In curbing negative expression of anger and requests, or rather, in showing or curbing negative expression of anger, request that you take a break so that you're able to hold or maintain your composure. Refrain from saying something you will regret later on in life. Focus on the future instead of dwelling on the past. So in other words, use the past as a reference point of the conflict with the focus of looking for a solution, because it will have a great impact on your future. Focus on the positive outcome for a positive future. Realize change requires transforming behavior. So act accordingly and act the part. Get to the real cause of tension. Meaning, figure out what really bothers you and understand what really bothers you. Engage with the other party to come to a consensus on what cause the tension is between the two, you and them. A resolution may be in order once you agree on this point. Resolve it, don't win. Now, that may sound negative, but it's about focusing on the big picture. You may be seeking to win the battle, but in actual fact, you could lose the war. And so hence, resolve it really looks for a reconciled position that best articulate the value for both you and your opponent. In other words, you're looking for a win-win environment. So hence, resolve it, don't win. Because if you win and you're the aggressor and they lose, it means you are the aggressor, they are passive. The opportunity for a future relationship, whether it be business, whether it be conflict, whether it be negotiation, whatever it is not likely to happen, and any positive reference are going to be stemmed because the other party walks away and probably does not want to ever see you again. Seek to be reconciled ahead of being right. It bodes well for the future in terms of the opportunity for relationship and building on whether it be business opportunities or just general relationships or work environment. Ask a third party to help if necessary. No one is a lone island. Lone rangers don't usually or are usually involved in positive outcomes. So in other words, there's no shame in asking for help. In actual fact, counseling can be a catalyst to helping you prepare for conflict. A third party can assist you with a valuable and yet different perspective to the conflict at hand. Agree to disagree if you have to. And in this approach, we look at do not compromise on your values and beliefs at the expense of coming to an agreement. You might be so compromised that in the future you regret. Maintain your respect and dignity for the differences in values and beliefs, and make sure you're not succumbing at the desire of coming out with an agreement which you don't even believe and value in. Respect the differences and be prepared to move on. And on this section, last but not least, we talk about forgive or forgiveness. Forgive even if it is difficult to forget. It takes character and compassion to forgive. Forgiveness will move you from being a bitter person. It's best advised, even if you have differences and you need to move on with those differences, that you operate in forgiveness when it comes to conflict management.